Okay. Yesterday, we did not... no, we did see this map. We saw it for the first map. It was a Tassadar Lunara comp from Mighty. With ETC first pick. It was Sonya in the solo lane.
Aha! I remembered this one.
Yes. It's actually, I think, the closest game of the series. It's really well played by Crazy Moving's Muradin.
We also brought in Sonya, right? Sonya top against the Dehaka. They were pushing top insanely crazy.
Yeah.
They were not really focusing onto the bottom temple at all.
Yeah, and that's why I think they lost their healing well in the early game, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we're talking about Mighty.
Yes. So Lucio was not in their comp on that map. It was taken from them before they picked the Lunara. Let's see if this this draft looks similar from Mighty, because this is their map pick. It was their map pick yesterday as well.
Lunara?
All right.
You should be thinking.
I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they will, but I think they should. Oh, of course. I mean, you and I have watched this team all season long. We've commentated all of their games.
Well,
100%.
Dudu can also play a decent Lunara, so I don't think Lunara should be a ban card. But if you can actually form a ranged DPS, maybe BlossoM will be thinking of just solo Lunara damage. I think that's also a great option. Just first pick Lunara. They have the first pick.
Sure. I think that if you in this situation, if you do that, then you have to be as good at Mighty at running the Lunara, which we haven't seen from BlossoM yet. Okay, it looks like they want it. At least trying to get the Ariel. I don't think Mighty will give it to them. Mighty will just ban the Ariel, and BlossoM will not be confident enough to first pick Lunara. So we'll see the... Oh, actually Genji ban. So things could change, but still very likely will be the Ariel ban now.
Let's see if BlossoM prepares something else. I think Game 1 draft, what they have shown us, maybe they thought that was the answer against Mighty's Lunara draft. If it doesn't work, if that was the only one you prepared, what are you going to do in game number 2? I think this will be the biggest challenge. If they can have a comeback, I think we can see an upset in the series almost. We also heard from Joker yesterday that they just want to keep using Lunara until it's broken because they have a lot more strategies available.
There's actually a lot of discussion about this one.
Oh, I'm pretty sure
I would rather just see them ban the Ariel to avoid playing against Lunara whatsoever, and then take it themselves. They're going to give the Ariel.
I actually want to... I followed this one. Gondar's ETC was somewhat scary against the other teams before. So, and his Nubarak in game number 1 was decent, but his ETC was a lot more scarier. So, giving them the choice and whatever is left and open, Mighty can just still take it. Uther, Lunara, another one is available.
When this happened to them yesterday, they took Malthael Tassadar, then drafted the Lunara in second rotation with the Rhaegar. It was on Tomb of the Spider Queen, so that draft doesn't make as much sense here. So they will take the Uther Ariel that you suggested, which is much stronger, I think, in this situation for the map.
Yes, with Lunara, of course.
So
and
still 100%, 5 games in a row, the Lunara.
Can BlossoM break this unstoppable Lunara? With what?
Their dive was successful in the early game last game. On a much larger map, on a much larger distance between lanes, that will struggle, I think.
I think just snowballing the early lead by like taking Sonya, of course, solo lane, strong solo lane, maybe taking Gul'dan, I think could be an answer with Ariel this time.
Vala was attempted against Lunara yesterday on Spider Queen.
Not even close.
But that was because we went to late game. On this map, getting to late game is very unusual in Korea. So, I don't know. I think Vala is still okay here. I'm going to pick it with the Dehaka that they almost banned. So they've chosen their solo laner.
And yesterday, and often what happens when there is Vala Ariel on your team, Lara on the other side. Your main source of damage is Vala, and also main source of heal, because Vala has to do the damage for Ariel's battery. But if Bala is poked out and damaged out of Lunara's longer range, then you cannot do heal and damage at the same time, which is exactly what happened yesterday for MVP Miracle. And Joker is so good at that.
I like this ban a lot.
This is specifically against BlossoM.
We saw Tempest, sorry, not Tempest, L5 run the Zarya on this map. We did see Raven, but that was let's just pretend that didn't happen. We just did see him run the Zarya.
OP Overwatch comp.
Yeah.
We did have one game of
Graviton
that.
Surge, yeah.
Graviton Surge, Explosion,
So
Divine Storm.
now, is it just going to be the Rhaegar for the Vala? I think Karazim is a stronger choice if you're really trying to out-heal Lunara, but also be able to threaten her. I think that might be the go-to pick for BlossoM as their secondary support.
Or they can just span one solo lane?
I think they should ban Tassadar. Tassadar is the secondary support they've used with Uther, with Lunara every time.
That's a decent pattern. If you can break that, that's also a good choice. Maybe they're thinking of taking Tassadar themselves.
Doesn't look like it anymore. We'll ban it.
Nice call, Wolf.
So now you've got Tassadar banned. You can run the Rhaegar. Malthael's been their go-to solo laner.
Look at that insta-pick. Saying Haka won't be a problem. And once Lunara just pokes out some damage, that's the exact timing when Malthael can just dive in. Oh, Lucio.
Lucio coming in here. I like this, again, for the same reasons we saw Lucio last game find success on the chase. Sound barrier is so good right now. I think Lucio is going to become a staple support right now in this meta, which again I do think might become the permanent meta for like potentially all of like the next year to come.
I want to wait till BlizzCon and see how the clash is going to happen. Lucio's coming back a little bit, a lot more, along with Sonya for KR. But there's a lot of cooldown and ETC on. ETC is not really getting banned as much in the other regions like EU and NA. So there are lots of differences happening in this meta right now. But once the new patch hits HGC, maybe a different story.
Well, time's ticking here. Tyrael in option, very risky one, but a strong one against the Malthael. Stitches.
Aha.
We knew it was very likely to be Karazim coming out as the secondary support because it gives both protection if positioning is good against Lunara, but also will grant you the potential to threaten the Lunara, threaten the backline.
The old Gondar favorite. If you can land on those fishing hooks, I think you can take Lunara out, of course, along with the drag. Maybe 7-sided they even used.
Going to be Muradin here. So strong for the map. Very standard pick. Very safe against the Stitches because you just have him block the hook. He's always positioned to do so, then just Dwarf tosses away. The only follow-up that they have to the hook in terms of CC is the tongue grab. Maybe a detainment strike that's very situational. And of course, post 10, they'll have 7-sided strike. Those are the things they have to use with the Stitches. The Stitches, I think, makes their comp so much more desperate in a way. We'll see if they can make this one work. I like their draft last game so much more against this Lunara that they've yet again allowed Mighty to have. And we're going to go into game number 2 on Sky Temple, where they found success yesterday, to see if BlossoM can tie it up.
Surprise! Stasis of the Storm.
So if I heard correctly, some players are changing position?
No. Technical term. Toilet issue.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Yes, we see
Who
a
is
missing
it?
chair.
Who is it? It's
BDG.
BDG, that's right. Well, gotta have an empty bladder when you're solo laning up there.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be up there fighting 1v1 against a strong solo laner on your opponent's team. You don't want to be fighting Wiz, but also fighting his desire to go to the bathroom at the same time. That's not fair.
It is not fair, and emergencies are emergencies, and has to get taken care of.
I know 100% Nasang was like, I told you to go before we got in game. You weren't even drafting anyways. Could have gone. I was gonna pick you a mouth ale. Don't worry about it. It's gonna just go just go a little quick in and out. Could have happened, but Nasang's like a little bit frustrated. I could feel it. Nasang's like, all right, but it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay. He'll be back
Toilet
soon.
issues, man.
I hope it's happens all the time in esports, and maybe a little less online when you're playing from home, because it's different in OGN because you have to come here every single time for each match, and I guess it's not televised anymore, but still it goes online, and it's if you're gathered up in an official stage compared to that to playing the same game online in your room where you always play the game. It's a different environment, of course, and you can get nervous sometimes.
All right, so no position changes. Let's talk about this. Wiz on Dahaka, Gondar on Stitches, Mora on Karazim, Dudu on Violet, and no chat on Ariel. You certainly can. BDG is one of the most experienced players of all these 10, though.
Mighty, Joker on Lunara once more, BDG, Martel, good, Morden, Nasang on Uther, Magi, Lucio. A change! Actually, Magi this time on Lucio. Nasang's sound barrier, I was a little bit critical of the timing.
There were a few shaky ones, but it's all right.
It's hard to actually use a sound barrier. Ooh, there's a nice grab, and that will be instant deleted right there.
That's already a good sign. Remember, Gondar, most famous for this hero.
He is known as the master of stitches in the KR server.
And when you have Detainment Strike locations with that pit on Sky Temple, to just immediately send him down, that's how it goes. Sometimes I forget we're like literally up in the sky and there's like holes that heroes fall down like the moon door.
What if you actually click wrong and you can fall down and you respawn in 10 seconds?
That would be interesting, I suppose.
It would be the hardest map of all Heroes of the Storm maps.
Maybe that's going to come in a future update. Blizzard can thank G-Clef later.
You're welcome, guys.
Good Detainment Strike. They are going to get the stun here. The weakness of Stitches, of course, is his lack of escapes. Oh my god.
Nice timing.
That was actually Good's fault. She walked into that one. But that's because the reason why he walked into it is because that was exactly the most normal thing he could have done in that situation, which is exactly why Gondar threw that hook. It's just so predictable. Thing is, like, if he just stopped walking and dodged the hook, it would be like really weird. I'd be like, well, the hook only missed because he did something wrong. Like, he did something incorrect.
Low double tempo phase as usual. Top lane actually, Karazim's taking some power off of Martel because 1v2, of course, it's a lot harder. Dehaka was not winning the lane, so they have to force one more, which means Mighty will be dominating this one, and Gondar seems to be in trouble.
Gondar is certainly in trouble, but will escape.
Nice hook onto Nasang. This will be a kill.
He's certainly
baited almost.
He is hitting the hooks. BDG is going to lose out in the top lane as well, and suddenly
he knew Karazim was up there, and
we literally said this in the draft. This game was going to be like this draft is. It was like a pretty good draft, and suddenly the Stitches comes in. And you're like, oh, okay, this is now like Stitches has to win the game. And it's like super all in, and I was worried about that. I'm not worried about that anymore. You know, like he has certainly made this pick crushing victories. They have a 2-level lead now, like straight up. It's 2 full levels.
They almost took.
They got the final shots. Temples. Yeah, they almost got both temples. They got both final shots.
3 kills plus. They're starting to camp so much quicker. Nice. They know how to snowball. They have to snowball against Lunara. They learned it in game number 1. They could not finish the game too quickly. They could not get the keep till late game. And talking about late game, Mighty really made a good comeback. This time, maybe a little bit harder because there's less tank this time.
Hey, this is going to be a pick.
Nice move from Maki.
Yeah, really well
done.
done.
A second too late.
Very good Lucio rotation. Okay, Okay, dodged the hook as well. Even though it was kind of awkward, the Giants really body blocking. They still got it off. That was well done. Top lane does have some pressure up there that eventually BDG will have to go deal with. In fact, is being hyper-aggressive here in mid. Risky. I'm going to take the Siege Giant camp, and he's just going to go take the free experience after the lane pushes. Looks like he wanted the lane to push so that he'd be safer up there, since he's been so pressured this entire game. He just wants to sit back here behind the fort to soak and deal with this instead of going up mid.
And auto attack Vala with Ariel.
Yeah. You don't like it?
Oftentimes I do not. But they're looking to have a longer fight here. So maybe they're trying to out-sustain in a way. Well, let's see. Let's see how it goes. It's
less strong since the changes to, or rather the removal of the cooldown reduction at level 7. But I think it's still the go-to here. You're not dealing with really any type of dive, and you are going to get so powerful in the late game. So is Lunara, and Lunara will always be stronger. But I do like the move towards this, especially towards like early to mid game. It's going to be very strong. It's going to be very difficult for Lunara to be in position correctly when you've got Stitches, when you've got Dahaka. Dahaka's like really jealous of Stitches' hooks. He's like, oh, my hook's really small, but you can eventually get those.
They're going to have a chain, so it's all right.
Yeah, they can certainly do that.
Or trade, but plus the temple for BlossoM, though.
And I don't know if Mighty will even get this for it. Like, I actually don't think so. Rotation is coming up mid, so they're also losing experience. Basically, all 3 lanes of experience for BlossoM, so they're going to get 10 way faster. They were already going to get it faster. They eventually
they're doing
get the
boss.
start. Yep, they are.
Looks like they started.
Someone needs
already.
to scout this. No one is going to check this. Uh-oh, Mighty is dropping the ball right now. Okay, here comes Good.
But maybe too late once Stitches gets the last 5 shots. They're making a rotation down to the boss.
I don't think they can even contest this. Like, Good is going to have to buy so much time. Lucio is using his amp it up to keep them over.
This can be a big chance for Mighty, actually.
Yeah, this could be a huge opportunity.
They hit 10.
Okay, they have the level 10s. Nasong's in position.
BDG, the perfect target, is stunned and deleted and gorged one of the targets too. And they get the boss. They get everything they want.
I think that might be game.
Like the last 5 shots, I think it actually got one of the tower and got some EXP.
That could actually cause them to lose the game. The last 5 shots, if they got the cannon tower, as you say, that means 1 less cannon tower to deal with this boss. Okay, looks like it was mid, not bot. So now this boss is going to work on the keep wall. Still no 10 to delay this. They do not have a lot of siege. Like, they only have Lunara. So, I mean, this is really late scouting by Mighty on that boss. They still came in, but 10 was there. And this keep is under fire, man.
They
still don't have 10.
They may not get the keep, but
I think they might, man. I mean, sure, they may still not, but it's doing so much damage to it already. It's going to be close. Ooh, like what, 10% left?
They do defend, but meanwhile, Dahaka has been extra soaking on top this entire time. So even if they just hit 10, BlossoM is 1 more away from 10 now. 12, actually.
They kept the keep alive, and so with it, they keep their chances of victory alive. I think losing that keep would have just been, I mean, they would never get close to the late game they want with Lunara. So they just have to now basically play perfectly. Oh, that was a very aggressive Dwarf Toss, and his team is nowhere near him. Oh, the cleanse baited as well.
Just in case.
Mad respect given to Gondar's Stitches here.
Once he gets Fishing Hook, that will be the second that they have to be a lot more careful from. Hooks coming out from blind spots. Mighty's giving up on lots of resources. They're taking the bottom one, but that is the first temple they're taking this game.
Gonna trade it though, and a trade is a losing trade for Mighty. At least they got this one so they protect their keep.
And right after taking the camp on top, they hit 13, talent up, so they have all the reasons to contest actually. Dahaka can join anytime. Gorge actually used a little too early. I don't think there's any follow-up.
Yeah, the stuns are coming through. Gondar has no escapes now, and he's being body blocked here due to trying to do what he can with these Rain of Vengeances. Heals coming in, Aegis coming in. Has Mighty stayed too long, Joker comes down as well. Sorry, BDG comes down as well. Dahaka's still getting the top temple down. They need to get something out of this, or Dahaka's just going to teleport down with Brush Stock, and they're going to be out of luck. They do retreat. And Dahaka's about to start threatening that keep wall to the top.
That save was nice, but then Mighty missed their chance. But can they make it work? Wiz now coming down.
Sound barrier.
Nice sound barrier timing. Gondar's in trouble with the Tormented Soul. BDG is doing tons of damage.
They already used Aegis.
There is no CC that can stop BDG from coming in.
Okay, Joker is very low. The heals coming out from Uther were not enough to keep him alive. Gondar survives here. I think he's going to die from DOT. He does. BDG needs to carry the rest of this fight. Good trying to slow everybody here. Well, this is going to be a one fight at the end of the day for BlossoM. BDG is just trying to survive as long as possible. Mora will get out. This might be a lost keep. Lucio is trying to get back to save it. This bot keep is certainly going to die to the last shots of the temple. So they may lose 2 keeps from this. Worst case, or best case, 1. Actually, yeah, they lose this.
I guess Auto Attack Vala really shined in that team fight because it was such a long team fight also, and Vala was free to do damage. Let's see if it works out a little more against Joker's Lunara. I want to see them 1v1ing actually. Joker was taken out quite early in that fight.
Yeah.
And they were also talent down. 3-level gap now.
Vala was just not touched, so that meant that she was able to do longer damage without pressure. I think part of this is Gondar's hooks have been so good. That was not the best example of which, but his hooks have been so good that Joker has to be afraid all the time. Okay, this is some good trading for Mighty.
This time stunned a hero instead.
He's down a talent tier, Joker is, with this, so the 3-level scaling too that Vala has against him with the auto attacks, like that scaling matters so much in the longer fights. If they're going to try to commit to the Tormented Souls again, good, uses 7-side, or sorry, get 7-side, uses his avatar to try to outlive it. He won't. The sound barrier is too late. Joker is alive here and very much untouched, but unfortunately, it won't matter when he doesn't have any peel left here. This is going to be game.
Gondar. And this may be game.
Like, I mean,
if they go push all the way in.
They have the Siege Giants. They have 2 catapults. They're up a talent tier. It's not the longest death timers because Mighty's still only level 13. The Joker might not even make it out of here alive. Nope, he's not. And if it wasn't game before, it definitely is now. Core under attack. Siege Giants catching up here. Respawns are coming out. BlossoM trying to just desperately finish this off to tie up this series. They were confident with this draft, with the
surviving
stitches.
For a long time. I think this is a missed core call now.
Dudu does get the Aegis here.
BTG dies, but still Magi.
They need to kill those catapults, though. The catapults are just going to kill the core, whether they kill No Chat or not. Kill the catapults. They need to kill those catapults. Wiz is going for this on the core. Catapults still firing. The fort actually in mid aggroes those. This actually could still be core. Dudu's going in.
He's going in.
He's going in. They get it
now, and they get game number 2. That was a close call. Very close, actually. I think the golems did like 40% of the core damage.
Yeah, golems and catapults, man. Ignored. And now we're tied up 1-1. The unbeatable Lunara has been beaten, and it was beaten by Gondar's Stitches. A comfort pick was what they needed to win this series. We can talk about auto attack Vala. We could talk about the longer team fights going. We could talk about some of the mistakes Mighty made. But they were always playing that game with one hand tied behind their back after the first 4 hook kills. Just put them a talent tier behind. They were down on 10. And from then on, you can't really make great decisions. I think the last nail in the coffin for that game, and I know it's really early to say this, right? Because we got to level 16, and this happened at like level 9, was when they didn't rotate down to the boss quickly and totally not only lost the boss, but got wiped. And then lost the temple shots as well. Like, that was the moment where they lost the game, I think. We are going to go to game 3, guys, after a short commercial break. So we will see you guys in just a few, and we'll find out what battleground we're headed to at that time.
In 5 minutes, to be exact.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, 300 seconds. See you then.